What's going on, YouTube, and welcome to College Football Week 2 analysis. You probably wonder why I'm smiling. Many reasons, but I think the main reason is you gotta watch picks and predictions because I was just about perfect. We're gonna hear about some of my picks from the previous videos and those locks. Did I lock them? We'll find out. So we'll just start off with the biggest game just to get that one out of the way. The only one I actually got wrong, I was actually picking Ohio State over Oregon. Oregon has never beaten Ohio State up until yesterday. This is Columbus, Ohio, first home game. I was really expecting that Ohio State was going to take advantage of this home field advantage. I knew it was going to be a close game. If you listen to the video, I thought it was kind of end up like, I even thought, Oregon was going to take the lead at a time, just kind of like similar to that Ohio State-Minnesota game the week before. However, it didn't go the way that I was planning. I actually thought that Ohio State's secondary was atrocious. I mean, there was guys wide open, and they were just letting Verdell just run all over them. So Ohio State's defense left much to be desired, and I was really just shocked. I think that was the word. I mean, Ohio State, you can't let that happen. But Oregon, I mean, everyone was doubting them, and they did it. So congrats to Oregon on an amazing win. Showing some West Coast representation in college football, and they're looking really, really good. And I even said it in last week's analysis when Oregon and Fresno State and everyone, Fresno State, almost beat Oregon. Fresno State is a good school. I said it before, and I'll say it again. Fresno State is really good. So, I mean, Oregon, great job. Ohio State, you're going to need to work on some stuff, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I'll probably go back into a little bit more of analysis later, but, I know Ohio State kind of came back in it, but to be honest, I'm sorry, regardless of that targeting penalty in the last few minutes of the game, regardless of everything, Oregon had the better team. I'm sorry. Oregon, great win. Okay, enough of that. Moving on. Virginia and Illinois. In my last video, I said no question about it. No question about it. Virginia wins this game. Guess what? Final score, 42-14. Virginia beats the Fighting Illini. So, all right. So I'm 1-1 right there. All right, cool. Moving on. Pitt and Tennessee. I said under the arm of Kenny Pickett, Pitt was going to win on a final drive, last possession. Now, I didn't actually see the end of the game, but they did win by one possession. The final score, 41-34. Kenny Pickett did a great job. All right, there you go. So, Pitt takes care of Tennessee at Tennessee. So, 2-1. Moving on, Florida and South Florida. I said that, Florida was going to shake off the rust from Florida Atlantic, come back in, and really prove the country that they mean business. Now, they won 42-20. Some people might say that doesn't prove it. Other people might, okay, maybe I was expecting Florida to win a little bit more. But I think out of this game, they found their new quarterback. Anthony Richardson, 3 for 3, 152 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. I think they found their new quarterback. I know they might have suffered a hamstring injury at the end of the game. But I think if Richardson is going to be leading this offense, I think Florida is, going to be in good shape next week against Bama. So, I'm not saying I didn't give them my prediction yet, but you're going to have to find out next video on my predictions. But Florida looking good. So I was right about that. What is that, 3-1? Yeah, I'm 3-1 right there. Moving on, Rutgers Syracuse. I said Rutgers makes a statement. They win big. They won 17-7. I mean, Rutgers still won 17-7. It wasn't necessarily a blowout like I predicted. But, we got to give Syracuse credit. They're a great team. Just a few years ago, they beat Clemson. So, you got to need to put these little factors into consideration. Rutgers goes 2-0. So, now, Iowa State. Now, everybody, I saw the line opened up 4.5 favoring Iowa State. Off the bat, I was shaking my head like, what? Vegas got this wrong. Vegas got this horribly wrong. And I think even Bear on ESPN, I think he was wrong completely. I think he picked Ball State to cover against the spread Washington against the spread and Iowa State to cover, and I think he was 0-3. And we'll see how I did, but I thought this was a no-brainer. I said Iowa, it was going to be a hard-fought battle, but Iowa pulls away at the end, and that's what happened. Iowa wins 27-17, and Brock Purdy, not looking too purdy. I mean, he was 13 for 27. That's a little under 50% of a completion rating. He only had 138 yards in the whole game, and he had 0 goose egg touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Brock Purdy, I know you can do better. You know, you're a great player. I've seen what you've done in the previous seasons. I'm hoping this just is just a bad game, and I hope he, really rallies in the next game because he's an excellent player, and I wish Iowa State the best. But, Iowa, clearly the better team. Hawkeyes won the Cy-Hawk Trophy again. Moving on, Alabama versus Mercer. I said in my previous video, Alabama wins by 50. Now, the final score was 48-14. But this is how I mean, technically I was right. Alabama wins. No question. I mean, it's Mercer. But I think this kind of was the game where it's, let's not get injured. Let's just take it easy. They got the rest of their SEC schedule. They just played Miami, which is a non-conference game. They got a few cupcakes. But they got to get ready and be fully loaded for their SEC schedule because everybody means business. I mean, I'll talk about the other games, but Alabama, I think they played smart. You don't need a question. They don't necessarily need to win every game pretty because they're Alabama. So, Alabama, I see what you did there, and I think it was a great move. Michigan, all right, now we're going to our 2 locks. Was I right with the 2 locks? Yes, I was. Michigan and Washington. The line opened up at 5.5. I locked it there, 5.5. I think throughout the week it increased to 7.5, 8.5. Regardless, you could put it at minus 10.5. Michigan wins 31-10 against Washington. I don't know where everyone's got. I think Bear was like, oh, it's going to be a low-scoring defensive battle, blah, blah. No, I told you before. You got to listen here. You got to subscribe here. I told you Washington's been on the downhill trend since 2018, since their Fiesta Bowl against Penn State. They've been on the downhill trend. Michigan was clearly the better player, but not like I thought. I thought, McNamara, I thought he was going to be throwing all over them. McNamara was only 7 for 15 with 44 passing yards, just 44 passing yards, no touchdown passes. However, the running backs from Michigan just took the whole state of Michigan and put it on their back. Blake Corum, 21 rushes, 171 rushing yards, averaging 8.1 rushing yards. That's almost a first down every run. Wow, that's amazing. And 3 touchdowns. Blake Corum killed it. This dude can play. And also Hassan Haskins. I mean, if Blake Corum gets tired, Hassan Haskins, 27 rushing attempts, 155 rushing yards, averaging 5.7 a carry. So that's like half a first down, practically a carry. And he also got a TD. So, the love was spread all around for the Michigan running backs, and they're coming out fighting this year. This is going to be an exciting year, especially in the Big Ten, with Ohio State losing, Michigan coming up. Michigan is going to be playing Ohio State at home last week of the season. Is this the year? I mean, we're going to find out pretty soon, but I'm getting excited. This is, everything's getting turned up. And my other lock, Penn State versus Ball State. Again, I think Bear picked Ball State against the spread, 22.5. Come on. I talked about this on the other video. After that big win against Wisconsin, Penn State's coming home to a packed stadium for the first time since 2019. I mean, come on. This momentum was palpable. And, a lot of people are probably expecting a lot more explosive plays. However, I think I liked what Penn State did there. I really needed to see more sustainability in their drives because Wisconsin, there was a lot of 3-and-outs, and then there was a big explosive play. It can't be like that. You need to kind of hold this time of possession. You need to kind of draw out plays, give some time for your defense to relax, get their defense worn out, and I kind of like what they did. Penn State spread the love. Sean Clifford was 21 for 29. That's pretty good. 230 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown, and a rushing touchdown. And then even they put in their second-string quarterback, spread all the love. Taquan Roberson was 1 for 2, because he was handing the ball off a lot, 1 for 2, 23 passing yards and a passing touchdown. So out of his one completion was the touchdown pass. So, Taquan Roberson, claps to you. You did great. Running backs, Noah Cain, amazing. Kevon Lee, the running backs core is deep at Penn State. It's going to be, Saquon. We all miss Saquon dearly. We don't have that Saquon type player this year, but we just have the depth this year. And I know I'm going to say it again, Noah Cain on paper doesn't look like much, but that was because his freshman year he was hurt and his sophomore year he was hurt. He was out for practically 2 seasons. We know, Penn State fans especially, know Noah Cain is that dude. So now that he's back, expect great things from Noah Cain and the whole running back core. So, actually, also, let's just talk about something really quick. In my previous video, go back, watch that video, like it. I said I think Penn State wins 42-10. I said 35-3, 42-10. Guess what the final score was? 44-13. 42-10, 44-13. That's really close. So, was I spot on? I think yes. So, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I was 8 for 9. And my 2 locks, I was good, 2 and 2 for the locks. So, maybe was I lucky, or do I know my stuff? You're gonna just have to find out. Like this video if you like it, and consider subscribing, and just tune in to next, week 3 picks and predictions. And if you're the betting man, you might come into a little. I'm not endorsing gambling, but you'll see how it goes. Now, those are just my picks. There's a lot of games that happened this week. I can't go over all of them, but these are just some other notable games, some exciting games, just in case if you missed it. But Florida State, Jacksonville State, I wasn't seeing this at all. Florida State played great against Notre Dame. I thought, another home game, Florida State was going to rally. But no, you got to see these highlights. With 4 minutes left, it's 17-7. Jacksonville State scores a touchdown, brings it 17-14. Fast forward a little bit, 6 seconds left, 17-14. Jacksonville State quarterback throws 60-yard passing touchdown for the win with 0 seconds on the clock. Jacksonville wins 21-17 against Florida State in Tallahassee. That's amazing. You got to see those highlights. Amazing. Again, next one. Notre Dame clings on to their playoff hopes by fingernails. Notre Dame, I was out to dinner at the moment. I couldn't see the end, but I saw Toledo taking the lead with 1:30 left. I was like, oh no, Notre Dame's going to blow this. You know me, I like Notre Dame. But no, Notre Dame comes back and scores in 30 seconds, practically a 30-second drive. You got to see the video. Jack Cohen dislocated his finger. You could just watch them on the sideline. They just pop it back into place, walks back casually, throws game-winning touchdown. So, that's crazy. Jack Cohen, you are a tough dude. Notre Dame wins it and escapes 32-29 against Toledo. All hats off to Toledo. You went into South Bend, Indiana with a goal, and you understood the assignment. But Notre Dame wins it. They're 2-0 now. Nebraska Buffalo, very impressed. Buffalo's always a great team. Gives some good teams a good run for their money. I was expecting a very close-knit battle. Nebraska wins 28-3, so they've really been shaking off that horrible loss to Illinois, and they're really proving that, hey, that was just, let's just forget about that Illinois game. Nebraska means business. So Nebraska wins there. Next big win. Welcome to the SEC, Texas Longhorns, because Arkansas just had to do it to you. You know what I mean? The whole we're back thing with Sam Ehlinger. Come on, dude, you're not back. Maybe you're back in the standings because Arkansas wins 40-21 against Texas. Texas, you're asking for it if you're coming to SEC. I thought it would be better stay in the Big 12. You'll do a lot better, but Arkansas, all hats to you. That was a great win. Another shocker, I actually didn't get to see this game because it was late and I was sleeping, but Stanford beats USC at home in USC. I thought they were contenders for the Pac-12, but maybe it was just a fluke. I don't know, but Stanford, great win against USC. And then let's just go to some blowouts, because, blowouts are always fun. So, because this video is getting long, so let's just get to some blowouts really quick. Auburn beats Alabama State 62-0. And, Alabama State, but 62-0, impressive. Going into Penn State next week, this is going to be a nail biter. And you're going to have to tune in to hear all my picks and predictions about Penn State, Auburn, and all those other good ones coming up. Moving on, Georgia and University Alabama Birmingham. So I think I heard news that UAB is considering getting rid of their football program. It's very unfortunate. But let's talk about the Dogs. Everybody was like, where's the offense against Clemson? I said, don't worry. Clemson has a great defense. And Dogs take it 56-7. That's how you got to do it. Moving on to OU versus Western Carolina, 76 Boomer Sooner to 0. 76-0. Oklahoma, they sweep them away. And I know everyone's going to say, yeah, who's Alabama State? Who's Western Carolina? Regardless, when it's these type of teams like this, you got to win pretty. This is not the NFL. You got to impress this committee if you want to show them that you're willing to go to this playoff. So, I know, you're running up the score, blah, blah, blah. No. You got to show them that you mean business. You mean business. Now, Alabama doesn't really need that, because Alabama, they win all the time. So right now, Alabama's almost testing their depth, making sure no key players get injured. But those other teams that really want to prove themselves, you got to win like this. 62-0, 56-7, 76-0. Those are the games that you got to win like that. So those games, like I said in my previous video, it was Cupcake Week. And then again, another video coming up. I don't know when I'm going to be posting this, but is the ACC in trouble for the college football playoff? You're going to have to find out, but all I'm going to say is it's not looking too pretty. After week 2, there's only 5 out of 14 teams in the ACC that are undefeated in week 2. The conference play didn't even really start yet. There's been a lot of non-conference games. So is the ACC in trouble? We'll soon find out, but I think that's going to be it, because I don't want this video to get too long. What did you think? Did you think I just got lucky? Or do you think I might actually mean business? I don't know. I love college football. I try to keep my reviews, my analysis, my predictions as unbiased. Try to keep them as unbiased as possible, because I love football for the sake of football. So if you like this video, please consider hitting that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel. Come and tune into my next week 3 picks and predictions. Maybe another video on the ACC, state of the ACC. And I'm also considering doing like an in-depth analysis of the big game next week, Penn State in the whiteout against Auburn. That's going to be, I don't even know. That's going to be crazy. I was considering going to that game. It's just too expensive. Maybe one day. But for now, that's enough for today. Have a great rest of your week. I know I am. My Penn State Lions are 2-0. I'm wearing this Rose Bowl jersey from '95, year I was born. Hopefully, we'll make it to the Rose Bowl again. But again, it's going to be a great week. I'm sorry if your team's lost or if I didn't mention your teams. But what do you think? Comment your thoughts below, and I'll see you next time, all right? Take care.